Good afternoon, everyone. I have Mr. Abu Ashraf with me here today. He is the engineering group manager at General Motors. He currently works as a group manager for chassis system safety. Thank you, Abu, for coming here today and giving me your time to talk about leadership. So I appreciate your time.
Thank you. Thank you for interviewing me.
I have a series of questions that I'd like to go with you today. I typically ask those questions to pretty much everybody that I interview, so I'll be making the exact same questions to you as well. So I'm not gonna take any more time. I'll directly go into the questions. My first question to you is, what makes a good leader in your opinion?
Nowadays, you will know, it's a very good question though. I would think, in my opinion, a good leader would be someone who has empathy. And when I say empathy, it means that person understands others, because leadership is not a one-person job. It takes a lot of people, and leadership, a leader need to move a lot of large projects that is just not the project with people. So you have to understand people, you have to understand their feelings. And alongside that, I would also say a good leader would obviously have to have growth mindset, and which is positive, right?
Yeah.
And have a goal, right? Has a positive goal to make the world a better place. So you can find leaders who are making big messes, but I would say good leaders are one who makes the world better and have a good empathy.
Excellent. Thank you very much. That was a great answer. My second question to you is, what is your leadership style?
So right now you can consider me as a mid-level manager, right? So service people report to me, so engineers report to me. So I'm not a leader of leaders. So my leadership style currently, I'm acting as a servant leader. So I take decisions from my leadership and then implement that to my employees. So I want to serve my employee first before making any decisions. I want to hear what's their opinion, whether they have the capability, they need any resource, and I provide them. So you could say more like I'm a provider than, so definitely not a micromanager, but a servant leader, I would say. That's my leadership style.
Excellent. That was a very good answer. I'm going to my third question. Who is a great leader in your opinion, or who do you admire as a leader? Could be somebody from outside your company, could be somebody within your company. Who inspires you, or who inspired you in the past?
You actually use the right words when you say who. So a good leader would have to have a couple of characteristics, and two of those is motivating others and inspiring people to do good things. So there are many examples, but I don't have someone in mind right now who I can give as an example. But as a good leader, going back to the first question, you have to have sympathy, empathy, understanding people's mindset. You should be able to motivate. Let's say you have employees, and employees can range from really introvert to extrovert, positive minded to negative minded. So you should be able to, a great leader should be able to work with all kind of people. So all kind of people means everyone you consider equally. When you see, and then on the positive mindset or growth mindset, when you see opportunity, when you see a problem, you don't call it problem, you call it opportunity. So you find out how can you fix it instead of pushing it back or complaining about why it is happening. So obviously a good leader is somebody who would be a good example for their team members as well. So I'll stop right there because I see you have more other questions.
That was a good answer. Very inspiring words from you, and wise. My next question to you is, what is your biggest achievement so far as a leader? What do you consider as your biggest achievement so far as a leader in your company?
Yeah, so far in my exposure, when I see the team that I'm leading right now, again, when I emphasize on empathy, my interest is in people and their mindset, psychology. So I'm really interested in learning more about organizational psychology as I go. So in my team, I was able to, I think it's the biggest achievement is when I see all my people. I had 15, 16 people that I'm leading right now. Their communication, interaction, mingling, and especially during COVID timeframe, we work from home. So we were not able to engage people to begin with. We actually push people back so they work from home. not much networking happening. So ever since we started going back, or even in the middle, in the journey of coming back to work, I was able to see the positivity. I saw my team members are collaborating with each other a lot. They like to have a lot of lunch meetings. They're really wait for one after another activities that we go together. Some of the employees were a little bit introvert and they wouldn't share much, but then with my work, I work with them in one-on-ones, and in many instances I encourage them to collaborate and open up. So I think I'm happy with the interaction I have with my team members, and I see them when I communicate with them or watch them communicate with others. That indicates that actually I'm really making a difference in their mindset as well. So they're kind of like following me how I interact with each other, and they're kind of catching this up from me. I can see that. Those people who are introverts seem to be more open, at least with me, and they share when I ask them if they have any roadblock or any issues with people or project. It seems like from the beginning, let's say 2-3 years ago, now they're more open, they share more. So I think being able to be close to them is my biggest achievement.
Amazing. Sounds like a very well-rounded and tightly knit team. That's exactly what I would like to build as a leader in myself as well. Communication and as you said, empathy. So that's excellent. My next question to you is, what is your biggest strength as a leader?
I would say I'm naturally a people person. So this is necessary for someone to be a good leader. They need to like to work with people, be with people, be comfortable with listening to them with any kind of situations they have, good or bad. So I think my biggest strength is again the communication style with them, right? Again, I don't want to use the same word as empathy, but being able to connect with different levels of people. So I have this is another thing in my team. I have big diverse groups, so you can think about from all different colors and everyone. I don't have one person which is same race, ethnicity, and background and sex. So I have women, men, different cultures all over. All 16 of them are different, I think. So being able to work with them at a equal level, right, where I trust them and they trust me equally, I think, in my point of view, and that comes from my communication style. So that's my biggest strength, I would say.
Amazing. Thank you. My next question to you: how did you get to your current leadership position? How did you get to where you are today?
Yeah. So it takes a little bit of history, right, where I come from. So to be a people leader, I didn't have a close mentor who was walking the path with me. I had to create my own path, and I changed leader, I changed work, right, positions and different responsibility, and I took not necessarily the easiest one. So I thought about it. I had some mentors, short-term mentors, and they give me advice, and I strictly follow their advice. For example, one of them, they said, when you speak, you use data based on evidence. You don't just make up things. So you convince people like that. You trust people, like the way you expect people to trust you. So hard work, obviously, taking challenging positions, and then being able to work with people, all kind of people. So I also had situations where I had problem working with people, right? Because you would always say the problem was on the other side. But in my case, I saw that I was not able to connect with that person. And yes, that person could be difficult, but hey, take that as a challenge, take that as an opportunity. So that taught me to see a problem as an opportunity and not complain about why the problem is happening. So by doing that, naturally, I think I'm ready to take more challenges, right? And I'm gonna continue going through this path and see where it ends.
Thank you for sharing your story with us. I will go to the next question. What are the biggest challenges that you faced in your leadership journey?
Yeah, this is a very segue, from the last question. That yes, I have experienced challenges with working with people and then dealing with some projects. So personally, I take a little bit of time at the beginning to understand something very well. So compared to other folks, you would see some people really jump into something and then start showing and start making mistakes. So that's my opportunity. I would say that's an opportunity or weakness that I am still working on. So I take some time to really understand something, and I'm kind of, right after beginning something, I don't want to make mistakes. So that's something I still want to improve. But every mistake has a cost, right? So that fears me not to make bigger mistakes. So that's my challenge. I want to overcome that. I want to be able to learn more risk-taking, not with the cost of the company or other people, but at least, if I need to, I will take additional time to prepare myself and read and study, learn, collaborate with others. But really, that's the challenge, to be able to take more risk and make mistakes and learn quickly.
And learn along the way, I guess. Yeah. Okay, no, thank you. I will ask you a slightly different question before I go into employee-related questions. What are the biggest challenges facing your industry right now? Just very high level for the audience.
So my industry is kind of your industry too, automotive industry, and we are struggling with keeping up with technology, competition. There are a lot of stakeholders in this industry. A lot of people are actually moving ahead in the innovation, coming up with different solutions. So General Motors is a large company, and they were rarely being the pioneer, right? They were always follower or secondary, and they try to make profit out of quantity and quality. But in today's organization or industry, you really have to be pioneer. You have to invent something new. You have to stay, ahead of the game and reach customers' mind first. So I think we are struggling in this area of being innovative, coming up with newer product faster. And that's an external challenge, I would say. But internal challenge is cultural change, right? We are not like that, what we want to be. So motivating and changing people's mind how we do business today is challenging. So people will see there are a lot of workload, not much resource, but you solve this problem being more efficient. But you also don't want to forget about innovating, right?
Yeah.
So those are the challenges I think.
I am in the same boat. I have experienced that as well. Next question to you is, how do you provide feedback to your employees, positive or negative, especially negative?
Both, yes, yeah. Even negative is more important. So when I can use negative as an example, because this is not easy to give negative example. For example, even after interview someone, you have to deny that person. In General Motors, we have a practice that you spend a good amount of time explaining that person why this person was not selected. So definitely you would pick a lot of things that doesn't match with the qualification, and you have to share that. So how do you share this, right? This is not easy. So again, you turn those into a constructive feedback. So that person, instead of demotivated, this person is actually looking for positivity, right? Okay, what is it I have to learn from this? How can I be a better person? So obviously you would have to, step by step mention all the things that you want to mention, but be positive. Always turn those into opportunity. That okay, these are the some things. And not only just say what this person were not done enough compared to the person who was selected, but you also show them what can be done, right? And then examples. So maybe guide them towards some person or some course or some materials that can improve that person going forward.
Awesome. My last question, we're almost at the end. Any final tips for becoming a successful leader? Just a few words.
To be a successful leader, I would say have a positive goal in mind. You just don't want to follow your leadership. You want to maintain a good ethical values, which is not easy to maintain. But maybe you would have your own heart tell you that you're doing the right thing when you have ethics in front of you as a people leader.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Abu, for staying with us today and talking about your leadership journey and leadership in general. Thank you again for your time.
Very good questions.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye.